welcome. The first day of August, and Corey is back streaming yet again. My hair is as curly and as messy as it always is. Yet again. I know I haven't done nothing in a long ass time, and I just know. I'm sorry. It's just been a crazy July. I got super fucking drunk on the 4th, as you all know, a great deal while ago. And it's crazy how this summer has just flown by and just left us into the dust. And now we're out of the home stretch of August and September. That's literally like the last 2 nice months. And I'm hoping September transitions into October and November of being some very good fall weather. Because this summer, good God, man, it has killed us. Literally killed us. So, without further ado, let's get to today's stream/video. So, as you know, your boy's a big-time classic rock singer and listener, indulger, if you will. So, I decided that, technically, in my own opinionated eyes, I'm gonna make a top 10 rock vocalist. And I'm not saying, I'm not including metal music. I'm not including heavy rock. I'm not including... Because there's a lot of variations of rock music. There's new rock, there's semi-old rock, and then there's really old rock. And the semi-old, I kind of put into between the middle to the late 70s and the 80s. The very old rock, I think of like the 60s and very early 70s. When I think of the new rock, I think of anything from the 90s going on towards the 2000s. But also, here's the weird thing. I mean, some of these artists on here also have rock albums from the 1990s and the 2000s. But the reason why is that they were very big in the 80s and 70s, which made them popular to begin with. So, naturally, I'm going to incorporate their new music made in the 2000s and 1990s as part of their entire outlook of what I'm looking for and how I'm judging these people based off of their singing voices and their talent to sing alone. And also just the simple fact of how many hits they had and, did their music change the game? Did their music change their certain era of music? And I might be a little biased on a couple of these, but, there's a lot of people on here that I think deserve to be on this list, at the very least. And I don't know. I mean, I do think that there's some artists out there that probably should be on this list also that I probably didn't mention. But like I said, I'm only incorporating classic rock. I'm not incorporating heavy rock. So, artists like Poison and bands, on the little harder rock side of things that are, a little more closer to metal, and per se, I'm not incorporating that into this. I'm incorporating the bands that are kind of, on the lighter side of rock. But it's still rock and roll, but not, too heavy on it, I should say. I don't know. It was more or less. I'm picking bands that I preferably like, but all these bands are still very popular. So that's another thing. It's weird. So I guess it's safe to say that your boy has good taste with this music. And I'm just gonna start off with my honorable mentions. Yes, I had a couple honorable mentions because I wanted to be fair. And I wanted to give these two people an honorable mention. So these two people would be literally on the outside cusp, in my opinion, of the top 10. These guys would be 11 and 12. And I'm going to start with... I used to love this person back in the day. I used to love his rock and roll. And he still has good rock music. It's just nowadays his music is shuttered by his stupid political opinions and shit. But that's John Bon Jovi. That's one of my honorable mentions. like I said, he has great rock and roll music, but his newer music, like his really newest music from like the 2020s and stuff like that, it has gone downhill a lot. And I mean a lot. And it's like he's getting a lot of backlash for political shit in his music. But he's a little more on the harder rock side, but I still think he has good classic rock taste for some of his music. I mean, obviously you give love a bad name, living on a prayer. You have wanted dead or alive. You have a lot of songs from him that you can choose from, and plus his new music's decent too. Like his newer stuff that's not like new. Um, so I want to at least give him a shout out, I guess, even though I don't listen to him preferably anymore. He's really the only one on this list that I don't listen to. Um, Maybe kind of same set for number three position, but we'll get to that. I mean, I listen to his songs, but like, I don't listen to a lot of his songs, but I know who he is quite well, and that's why I put him there. Yeah. But next, we're going to move on to the next honorable mention. That's number 11, Mickey Thomas. So, and a lot of these names, when you hear them, you're like, who the hell is Mickey Thomas? Or who the hell is this guy? I'm going based off of lead singers basically alone. So I'm not talking about the band, I'm talking about their lead singer, because that's what this is, a top 10 vocalist list. So Mickey Thomas, if you don't know, is the lead singer of Starship. One of the two lead singers of Starship. He's very famous for Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now. We built this city. Basically those kind of songs. Like, I would say he's a very talented young man. He back in the 80s, in the late 70s. He had a great voice. He had a great band and all that. But I feel like his career is only built on like a very sheldom of songs, is what I'll say. Like, he only has like a couple songs that make him break it or not. Like, you know what I mean? So it's not like he's all well known. I mean, like, he's known for those songs, but like other than that, like, no one's like, who gives a shit about this guy, right? But I still like his two songs that make him popular. Like, you know, I have them on my playlist. So, here's what it is. And now we're officially, ladies and gentlemen, going to crack my top 10. And this is going to be a fun ride. So just hold on to your hats, because you ain't seen nothing yet. I'm going to get copyrighted for that, I know. But fuck copyright, because I don't only have 226 subscribers. I don't give a shit. Number 10, Mr. Joe Elliott. And if you don't know who Joe Elliott is, do you know the band Def Leppard? I thought you did. Yes, Def Leppard, like I said, is on the harder rock side. But Def Leppard is a fucking amazing band. They are a really good band, a little on the harder rock and roll side of things. Pour Some Sugar on Me, Photograph, Hysteria, Rock of Ages, I think was one of their songs. They have a lot of very good songs. And their singer is quite incredible, I would say. He has it's an amazing voice that can hit those high notes when he needs to. And he can even get down low and hits those deep notes too. So I really think he deserves at least a top 10 mention. I mean, like, that alone, like, he can hit all the ranges, which is something that a rock and roll singer wants. You want him to be able to hit those notes. So I think that he personally deserves at least a spot. And I think he should go down to one of the top 10. Now, I'm just going to say it out front for you guys. Who are you? You're sitting here waiting. I'm going to hear something from AC/DC. What the fuck others? A singer from Led Zeppelin or anything like that. You're not going to hear none of those guys on here. So if you're thinking you're going to hear Led Zeppelin, AC/DC, other Queen even, I mean, all these other bands that you really probably like from the 80s, you're not going to hear none of those names here. None of those at all. And plus, those are more harder rock anyways. And I don't like their music that much. I'm not saying they're bad singers or bad band. I'm just saying I don't like their music. Preferably from the 80s. But yeah, Joe Elliott, Def Leppard, number 10. And moving on, number 9. This guy is a very... This was a hard one to really describe in terms of the music group because he technically doesn't have one. He's literally a solo man, basically. I mean, he has a band because Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band. I just kind of gave it away, but Bob Seger, um, he's kind of a solo YOLO kind of thing. So it's hard to gauge that, really. I mean, so. But anyways, really good singer, really good vocalist. I love his vocals. And he just has that, like, old-timey feel. I love his old-timey song feel to it. Against the wind, and the night moves. I think that's him. Yeah. Took me a second. Then you got old-time rock and roll. You got Hollywood Nights. Lots of songs. Lots of great songs from him. And I think, he definitely deserves a top 10 mention. Bob Seger, he wasn't popular always back in the day, possibly. But he definitely is a very big deal today in the 80s terms of music. So I think he deserves that spot, number 9. He really does. And next on, we're going to move on to Kevin Cronin. If you don't know who Kevin Cronin is, it's okay, I'm going to tell you. Lead singer of REO Speedwagon. And I believe this guy had a voice, I'm telling you. This guy's voice was top tier peakness in the 80s. In the late 70s, actually. Like between 76 to 82 was his peak years with REO Speedwagon. Time for Me to Fly, Can't Fight This Feeling, Keep On Loving You, and what was the other song that it's very, very, very popular for? I don't know. It's like, heard it from a friend who heard it from a I don't know. It's something that goes like that. I don't fully know, but amazing singer nonetheless. I really like him. Good singer, passionate singer, good rock and roll. And yeah, I mean, REO Speedwagon was lucky enough to have him on the team because Kevin Cronin was a great singer. But now we're going to crack the top 7. So, number 7, we have Billy Joel. And yes, Billy Joel. Billy Joel is himself. And Billy Joel is amazing. A lot of good songs. I mean, obviously, if you don't know this song by now, I don't know if you're living under a rock. Uptown Girl. Yeah, We Didn't Start the Fire. Lots of songs. And, here's the best thing I would say about Billy Joel. You can listen to a lot of Billy Joel songs, but not at the same time. Because most times you're not going to realize you're listening to a Billy Joel song because his voice has drastically changed throughout the years. Like, when I listened to him back in the day, he's kind of like a chameleon kind of thing. He blends in with his music. He takes on a persona, and his voice can change on the spot in each song. It's incredible. I mean, and not to mention the personality of this guy, man. Like, what the hell? It's so crazy. I love his energy. I love his personality. I love just the way he changes the music style with the way he acts and performs in the songs. Like Uptown Girl, that's completely different than We Didn't Start the Fire and all of his other big songs he has. It's just crazy, man. It's hard to put a finger on exactly what he's really good at and what he's not good at because he just does everything well at the correct time and the time of the song. So it is what it is, I guess. But then we have a legend here next. We have a legend. And that is Kenny Loggins. Kenny motherfucking Loggins. We got Footloose. We got Don't Fight It with Steve Perry and himself. Then we have I'm Free, Heaven Helps Me, or whatever that song was. Danger Zone. I mean, just so many great songs. Fucking amazing singer. He was so talented. So much energy and personality he brought to the stage. What an amazing singer he was. I mean, the voice, the acting, just the way his emotion, like that's one of the biggest things I loved with the '80s, man. Is like the emotion behind the songs. They put their emotion behind it, and it just made it so more passionate and so much more real. And that's why these next five guys, man, they fucking put their hearts into the music that they made, and it's just it shows every fucking time. Like when you hear these guys on the radio, you're just like, that's the '80s, man. That's the fucking '80s. But then we got number 5, Brad Delp, aka lead singer of Boston. In Boston, you all know Boston. If you don't know Boston, then you've been living on a rock. You got More Than a Feeling, you got Peace of Mind, Feeling Satisfied, Don't Look Back, Amanda. So many great songs, and I love Boston. Boston's one of my favorite '70s bands, man. One of my favorites. They're just great. They're just great all the way around the circle of things. Awesome band. I love the vocals by Brad Delp. Makes it so much better. And then you got the guitar solos on the back end. But this is about the vocals, man. Like Brad Delp has like, it's just it makes you want to sing along, I should just say. So Corey's tired. I wanted to sleep in today, but it did not work. Did not work at all. So yeah, Brad Delp, amazing guy, amazing singer, and I will always love Boston's music, and Brad Delp as the main guy of that singer. And now we're getting into my like personal favorites here. Number 4, we got a guy that is just literally the peak of the best, almost. That guy's Phil Collins. Phil Collins, man. Man, he got Invisible Touch, which is still my favorite song to this day. You got I Don't Care Anymore, Suicidal, and you got which I didn't even know. Some of these songs by him, I didn't even know was him. Like, it's crazy to think about that. And then you got I Can't Dance. You got there's some other songs from him. That's Genesis, by the way. I Can't Dance. I can't think of the other ones, but I have quite a bit of songs on my playlist now. I love Phil Collins. His energy and just how much fun he has on stage with his buddies and friends and stuff while he performs is just, it's amazing. Like, this guy was truly a good-hearted, down-to-earth guy. He loved to have fun. He loved to just be crazy. He loved to make people laugh. Not to mention, his voice style just goes to show you that you don't need to have the perfect man to be a great singer, because he did a lot of solo work with himself. That sounded really weird. For a long time, and he just amazing. I mean, like, just all around amazing guy, amazing singer. I mean, I love Phil Collins, and I always will. I mean, I love him for his work and fucking he's done a lot of Disney movies. He's done fucking Tarzan. He's done fucking Brother Bear. Lots and lots of movies. He's somewhere. He's just, he has a voice that's so magical when you listen to it. So magical. And it really, it brings that warming sensation to you. It has that passion. It has that fire. It has that loving, warming tenderness to it. It just, he has everything a singer should want. And I honestly really kind of, if it wasn't for these next 3 guys being who they are, I honestly probably would have put him at 1. But I think 4 is a solid spot for him. So these top 5 guys are all personally favorites of mine, honestly. And I don't think any of them really personally hold a different... Man, they all hold their own special place in my heart. We'll just say that. And then next we have Peter Cetera. Man, what a fucking voice this guy has. I'm just telling you right now. He's done a lot of solo work, and I've heard some of his solo work in my mom's car. I don't know the songs particularly, but my goodness, man, the work he's done with Chicago back in the 70s, What an electrifying voice this man has, okay? He's done If You Leave Me Now. He's done You're the Inspiration. Hard Habit to Break. 25 to 6 or 4. Just so many fucking songs, dude. So many fucking songs. And his voice is just so good. So good. So fucking good. It hits those high notes and it hits those low notes. It's just, it has the passion behind it. So firing passion. And I just can't help it. It's that good. It's that fucking good. And he definitely deserves a top 3 spot. And I think him and Phil Collins share a special place in my heart with their certain types of music they have. I mean, they are truly kind of a good pair couple. I think they should have honestly did a music song together. I think that would have been a perfect Phil Collins with his fun, loving energy, upbeat energy, with Peter Cetera's passionate voice behind it. And Phil Collins is interesting, interesting somehow works voice. Just together, man. Like, I think it would have been electrifying to see them do a song together. I think it would have worked really well. Number 2. See, here's where the backlash I might get, because this is where I think it's biased for some people that look at me and say this. But honestly, man, I don't know if anybody can beat my top guy spot. I just don't think there is. And I'm being at least respectable with this man, because I love him to death with his music. Amazing music, amazing voice, passionate singer. Just, he has everything you want. It's just my guy has just a little bit more. And plus, he holds a special place in my heart. Because if it wasn't for the guy in the top spot, I would never have went down this pathway to begin with his music. But number 2, Steve Perry. Steve motherfucking Perry. Y'all, come on. Journey. Faithfully. Don't Stop Believing. Don't Fight It. Separate Ways, Worlds Apart. Open Arms. We got We'll Keep On Spinning. We'll Keep On Spinning. Whatever that song was. Then you got fucking Oh Sherry. You got his newest music, like from a few years ago when he did a solo album. And then you have a couple other songs. I mean, like, Steve Perry's one of those, he's that guy. He's that guy. He is one of the top singers of all time. And people keep wanting to say that he's the best rock vocalist of all time. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. I mean, when I say I don't see him as the number 1 spot. I think he definitely could share a spot with somebody. And as much as people say, no one has Steve Perry's talent, man. He has the best voice ever. He has the best solo work. He has the best work with Journey. His voice can't be topped by anybody. And you can't compare it to nobody. That is completely false, my people. That is not true whatsoever. I don't care what you say about Steve Perry. This next man, I can compare him quietly to Steve Perry. He looks like Steve Perry. He sings like Steve Perry. And he has that same passion and emotion as Steve Perry. And that's Jimmy Jamison. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I know I talk about Jimmy Jamison a lot. But Jimmy Jamison is by far the best rock vocalist of the 80s and 70s. And today. Along with Steve Perry. I think they're both the best. Like, together. They make the best. They complement each other, basically. I mean, just look at Survivors with him records. Yeah, The Moment of Truth, Burning Heart, I Can't Hold Back, High on You, The Search Is Over, I See You in Everyone, Is This Love, Rebel Son, How Much Love, Man Against the World, Didn't Know It Was Love, Too Hot to Handle, or Too Hot to Sleep, whatever the song was. Then you got Desperate Dreams, Tell Me I'm the One. Then you have him from Cobra. He did an album with Cobra. And then he also did a solo band before. What's up, George? He even did a solo band or a solo album before he even joined Cobra or Survivor. I mean, if that's not enough, my man had a luxurious fucking solo career after he left Survivor. He went on to make an album in 1991 that had multiple hits, and then he went on to make the album-changing solo work with the Baywatch theme song, I'm Always Here, in 1999, and then he goes on to make an album with Survivor that's unfortunately it never made iTunes, but it's on YouTube. You can find it. It's called Survivor Reach album. Just look up Survivor Reach album. You'll find it on there. That's him in the middle of the early 2000s. And then, not to mention, 2 years after that album, he made another solo album called Crossroads Moments, and the one from 1999 was Empires. And then When Love Comes Down was the one in 91. And then he also made an album with Jim Peterick, one of the former writers for Survivor. And then he also, on top of that, made another album in 2011 with Bobby Kimball, one of the lead singers of Toto or Africa, or whatever this band was. And then he made an album, his last solo album, in 2012. I mean, my man had he made so many singles, he made so many hits, albums with Survivor and by himself. Purely an amazing rock singer. He had the hard rock vocals. He had the softer rock vocals. Everything you want in a singer. He had the high pitch. He had the low pitch. He had every pitch management. He had the passion. He had the fire. He had the love. It's just, I think it would have been nice to see Jimmy Jamison and Steve Perry do an actual song together before they passed away, because I think it would have been an amazing song. I think it would be one of the best songs ever created. I mean, we had Kenny Loggins and Steve Perry. Why can't we have Jimmy Jamison and Steve Perry? Why not? What's to say about that, man? Like, what the fuck? But I don't know. I'm never gonna stop saying that Jimmy Jamison and Steve Perry are the two best rock singers of all time. I think they should share a spot in the Hall of Fame. It's just an opinion. Maybe not your opinion, but it's my opinion, and my opinion's always usually right. Okay? Alright? Alright. But it's been 28 minutes now, and I need to stop this particular stream for this reason, because I don't want this stream to get taken down with the next thing I'm going to do. Because what the next stream I'm going to do, I'm going to listen to music on my TV. And you know what? If it gets demonetized and canceled, that's completely fine. But at least it doesn't cancel this particular stream. So we're going to listen to music on a separate stream. I'm going to stream here in a little bit, within about the next 10 minutes. I'm going to stop the stream. If you enjoyed this, leave a like, subscribe, comment, do all the fun things you want to do. My goodness. What a day it's been. I'm going to go have some fun and watch some music videos on stream with y'all. Peace.